Hi there, I'm Tom, one of the designers here at Purehold, and today I'll be showing you how to install your StepFresh. But first, a quick disclaimer. As you might have seen on our website, and on this label as you first open the packaging, StepFresh isn't compatible with all toilets. We tried to design StepFresh so that it's compatible with as many toilets as possible, but some of the new rimless designs just aren't compatible with StepFresh.
Check that you have a rim or overhang the whole way around the toilet. As you can see, I can run my finger around the length of the undercut, completely unobstructed. If yours is like this, then you're good to go. If, like on this rimless toilet, your toilet doesn't have a rim or undercut for the tubes to go under, then unfortunately the StepFresh is incompatible with your toilet.
If you did buy a StepFresh and now realise that you can't fit it to your toilet, don't worry, you can return it to us. And be sure that we are working on a version for those rimless toilets, so stay tuned. But with that, let's get into the video.
Upon opening the StepFresh, you'll be greeted by the instructions. Be sure to read these thoroughly, as they contain a lot of really important safety information, as well as a lot of useful tips and tricks. Next we're going to want to remove the funnel, jug, gloves and plant. Your box might only have the funnel, but you might want to consider getting the discrete jug system, as this is a really useful way of storing everything you'll need to fill up the StepFresh. Carefully set the tubes to one side, and pull out the part that we like to call the ladder, and the included isopropyl alcohol wipe. We're now just left with the main StepFresh unit. Be sure when you pull this out not to tear this long piece of paper, or twist these tubes, as that'll make life a bit difficult later on.
Before we start, let's put on the included gloves.
Decide whether you want to install StepFresh on the left or right hand side of your toilet. The ladder will be installed on a flat portion of the lower half of the toilet. So make sure to give that area a good clean with the included isopropyl alcohol wipe. We want to make sure that the area is free of any dirt or residue, so that the adhesive backing can make a good bond to the side of your toilet. You should aim to clean the side of your toilet for about a minute, to make sure all the dirt, grime and any residual residue is completely gone. You can also use the alcohol wipe to clean down the area of the floor that your StepFresh is going to be on, to make sure that the non-slip feet do their job properly. Once you finish using the wipe, give the area a quick wipe down with a hand towel, kitchen roll, or like in my case, some blue roll, just to wipe away any remaining residue from the wipe. Position the StepFresh towards the back of the toilet, out of the way of anyone using the toilet from a standing position. We can then place the dispensing tubes into the bowl of the toilet. You'll want to have this connector around halfway around the rim of the toilet. Make sure that the toilet seat, when closed, will not press on any of the tubes when the toilet seat is down. We can then remove the cardboard retainer by pushing through the cardboard tabs through their respective holes. Be careful not to tear the long piece of paper while you do this, as it's quite fragile. Slide the cardboard retainer out from under the tubes, making sure not to twist the tubes in the process. Before we move on, let's just make sure that these two little white arrows are pointing downwards. This is really important. Grab the upper tube with your right hand, and grab the lower tube with your left hand, and then pull them apart. You'll see that this expands the tubes. While you do this, make sure that this connector stays halfway around the rim. You might have to change your grip a few times and play around with it. Just keep propping it up and expanding it. Eventually you won't be able to expand it anymore, and it'll be securely in place under the rim. Once you're happy that the tubes are as far up in the toilet as they can go, and as far outwards towards the sides of the toilet as they can go, then you're good to move on. Now that we've placed the tubes around the rim, we're going to double check that the arrows we looked at earlier are still pointing downwards, as these indicate the orientation of the holes that the cleaning solution comes out of, and we want to make sure that they're pointing downwards too. Now it's time to install the ladder. Remove the plastic backing and set it aside, putting the plastic side down first. We want the ladder to be installed on a flat portion, out of view. We can use this long piece of paper as a guide to where to put it. In this instance, we could probably install it on this side, or to be a bit more out of the way, we could install it behind this groove. Pull the paper down firmly, being careful not to tear it, and place it snugly against the side of the toilet. Grab the ladder, place it inside the cutout in the paper, and press firmly for 60 seconds. Make sure that the arrows on the ladder are pointing upwards. By thoroughly cleaning the side of the toilet earlier, we can be sure that there will be a good strong bond between the side of the toilet and the ladder. Set a timer on your phone to make sure you're holding it there for the full 60 seconds, as it's really important to get good adhesion. Now pull the piece of paper away from the ladder. In order to remove this piece of paper, tug firmly. Great, we're almost there. We can now put this little connector, known as the anchor, into the empty cutout holes. We don't want it too loose because this can make it look unsightly, but we also don't want to pull it too tightly, as this could stretch the ladder off over time. I like to find the one that it fits in comfortably, and put it in the one lower down than that.
Excellent, the StepFresh is now installed in the toilet, and if you did get the jug, funnel and plant combo, now's the time to get it out.
Set the plant to one side, retrieve the funnel out of the jug, and firmly insert it into the top of the tank. Give it a good push to make sure it's firmly in there. In the case of the StepFresh jug, fill the jug up to where the spout begins with water. If you're using a different jug, fill the jug up to about 1 litre. Slowly pour the water into the StepFresh unit. We're going to step on the unit 3 to 4 times, just to prime the system and get the water circulating. Keep pressing until you see water coming out of the tubes inside the bowl. While I'm pressing, we're just going to check for any water shooting upwards or at a funny angle inside the toilet. This is to prevent splashback in the future. If any water does come out as a jet or at a funny angle, it'll be necessary to twist the tubes downwards or inwards towards the side of the bowl. Take note of how I'm keeping the heel of my foot on the floor and tilting my foot to put pressure on the unit so I can make full use of my body weight. Now this is where the discreet StepFresh jug will come in really handy. By filling the jug up to the plastic feature at the bottom with whatever toilet cleaner you want to use, in this case some pink toilet gel, and the rest of the way with water, up to the bottom of the spout, we get a 10% dilution. If we do another measure of cleaner, this creates a 20% dilution. And since the StepFresh can hold up to 3 jugs, we can achieve up to a 30% dilution, which is more than enough for daily cleaning. Once we are happy with the water testing, fill the unit up with some toilet cleaner. In this case I want to create a 10% dilution, so I'm going to do 1 jug of toilet cleaner, and fill it the rest of the way up with water. It's important to stop filling before the little silicone valve in the top. However, if like me, your pouring skills are a little rusty, and you do overfill into the funnel, you can press the pump a few times, just to dispense a little of the liquid from the funnel into the toilet. Never pull the funnel out while it still has liquid inside, as this will create a lovely smelling puddle on your bathroom floor. Once again, step on the unit 3 to 4 more times just to check that there's no jets, water coming out at a funny angle, or any leaks, and once you're happy, congratulations, you've set up your StepFresh. We can see here that with the toilet seat down, the tubes are discreetly hidden away. Your StepFresh can be used with a wide variety of bleaches and toilet gels, so feel free to experiment. Just be sure to flush the unit through with water between different cleaners to avoid any unwanted chemical reactions. And be sure to always fill the units with cold water, never warm or hot water.
Thank you for giving StepFresh a try. And if you haven't got a StepFresh yet, we'll leave a link to our website in the description down below. And if the discreet StepFresh jug also tickles your fancy, we'll leave a link to that in the description down below too. And with that, thank you for watching the video and enjoy.